YouTube family, what is good? If you are a profitable trader, then this video today is not going to be for you. But if you are inconsistent still and you have been trading for a while, I'm going to give you 3 things that you need to consider as to why you're still having ups and downs and you can't get over the hump, okay? The only thing I'm going to demand from you today, guys, is honesty and accountability with where it is that you are actually going wrong and what it is that you're doing which may be hindering your process, okay? So if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe to the video if you find it useful, and let me know in the comments as well what it is that you're struggling with. Now, the first thing that I want you guys to potentially consider is, are you over trading? Now, a lot of people in the industry talk about this, but I know it falls on deaf ears because I know for a fact people are still over trading on their accounts, okay? Now, some things I want you to kind of consider and understand is when you are back tested, and hopefully you are, because that's what's actually going to get you your breakthrough regarding your strategy, is understanding when these moves play out, the time frames and how long it actually takes to play out, okay? Sometimes you can get a fake move during one day, the next day is when the move actually played out, but the fake move has enticed you to actually engage in the market, and that has caused you to take a loss or potentially have the wrong bias for the actual move that is coming that you're actually waiting. Now, when it comes to over trading and realizing that just because the market is moving doesn't mean that you need to be engaging with the market. Now, it's easier said than done. I'm very aware of that. This is why it is important and crucial that you have things other than trading that you're able to occupy yourself with as you're waiting for your pair to actually validate and give you the criteria you need to actually engage the market. Most traders that get into trading, right, they're kind of sold the dream of you can trade 5 days a week, 24 hours a day, and that leads to you thinking that there's opportunity everywhere, which just is not the case, okay? I've been doing this for 6 years now, and I know for a fact there isn't a trade every single day. Now, yesterday I took a trade on GBP USD. Today is Friday, guys. I had to wait 4 days of the week in order to actually get the buy criteria available for me to engage. Now, most people will hear this and be like, okay, cool, I can do that as well. But you have to understand the demand and the discipline from yourself in order to wait for the criteria to develop. A lot of traders, especially those that wait for higher time frame setups like myself, will understand that, yeah, okay, cool, I might need to wait that amount of time to catch it. But when in reality that they're actually sitting on the charts and looking at the screens, for some reason enticed into actually trading the markets. Now, what you have to understand, guys, yeah, 4 days have passed. You may have to give up a week certain times where you don't engage. You have to show up at the markets. You have to look at the charts every day and look for your criteria. Some people don't like the fact that they showed up and there's no gratification, there's no actual enticement, there's nothing really popping off on the charts. They're not able to sit on their hands and wait. If you're one of those people, I'm telling you, you're not missing nothing if your criteria is not there. Please understand that statement, okay? Because when you just trade outside of your criteria, outside of your trading plan, whatever your strategy may be, if it's supply and demand, if it's price action trading like myself, whatever it may be, right? If you cannot wait for your pair to actually develop what it is that you're seeing in terms of your bias, then you are killing yourself, because this is where the inconsistency is going to come from, because you're not following a set of rules. You're getting into the mode of sporadic trading, and psychologically, this is going to have a damning effect on the long-term trades that you take, okay? So please understand, if you're over trading, I know it's spoken about enough, but I know for a fact people are still doing this time and time again. If you are one of them, believe me, wait for the higher time frame setup to actually reveal itself. You do not need to catch the top or the bottom of the trade in order to be profitable. This is another thing that I find with people. They are too focused on getting in at the bottom, getting the best position available, and sometimes the best position available isn't even clear yet. So don't feel like you're doing something by letting 4 days of the week go by and you haven't engaged in the market. This is normal criteria. You're thinking too short term in regards to what the market can and cannot do. The second thing I want you to consider is taking trades based on outside influence, right? And what I mean by that is taking trades due to someone you see that's more experienced than you trading a pair that you're interested in trading, and going along with their bias rather than actually honing in and focusing on your skills and your ability, okay? What I say to my students all the time, the ones that go on to actually be competent and believe in their skills and take trades on their own accord, is Even if you bounce ideas off of me, I'm never going to actually push you away from what your bias may be, or cloud your judgment somehow, or give you an opinion which basically kind of trumps what it is that you think is happening in the market. Because at the end of the day, if someone's bias who is more experienced than you doesn't match up with what you think is going to happen, it does not mean that you're wrong and they're right, okay? There's a such thing in trading, unfortunately, where two people can have different biases and still be profitable, okay? Some people may look at it as a negative, but realistically, if someone's selling from higher than where you think the market is going to go, or someone is selling lower from where you think the market is going to go, that's okay. And why I'm saying this is, if an experienced trader has a move which doesn't validate your criteria, you should not be put off from taking the trade. At the end of the day, every loss that you take in the market is still an experience gain. So don't be wishy-washy. Don't be listening to someone who you might admire, or you might think, okay, they're definitely right and that you're definitely wrong. There is no right or wrong in this, okay? There's only lessons. Now, everyone wants to kind of be on board with, you know, seeing people that they admire and understanding, okay, cool, this is what they're doing. I want to be like them. I'm going to trade exactly what they're doing. But if it doesn't actually line up with the analysis that you've actually trusted and you actually believe it and you've done the work, you've actually honed in on, okay, this is what the trend is. This is where I think the market is next going to move from, all of what your criteria may be. Do not turn your back on that analysis and mess up your belief system, okay? Don't listen to anybody. Your voice is the most important when it comes to your journey to becoming a consistent and profitable trader. Now, why I'm saying this is because I see it on Twitter, I see the communities, I see people backtracking, I see people jumping into 5 different telegrams trying to see what everyone is doing. It's all noise at the end of the day. And I'm here to tell you, you don't want to listen to that many voices, especially if you're on that road to still being inconsistent and you're trying to actually get over the hump. Start focusing on yourself, start listening to yourself, and you really need to understand that if you're not doing this, you're missing a trick, guys, okay? Your actual analysis and your actual data from trades that you take with reasons and criteria that you believe in are going to give you the answers to actually benefit yourself in the long run in terms of cutting out your own mistakes. If you're constantly listening to other people when it comes to why I took certain trades, or why you thought it was a sell, why you thought it was a buy, you're not getting the feedback, the critical feedback that you need in order to actually grow as a trader, okay? Your journey and your voice is the most important, believe me. Now, the third point I want to make in this video, and please don't shoot me, guys, please don't kill the messenger, okay? If you're still struggling as a trader, if you're still not finding the consistency you want, if you still can't get over the hump, you need to consider the fact that your strategy is just not what you think it is. Now, what I mean by that is you might have a belief system in the strategy, but maybe it is showing you evidence that it is not good enough to actually get you the results you want. And if that is the case, it's not the end of the world. It just means that you're not ready to potentially trade live funds or actually pass the prop firm challenges or whatever it is you might be doing, okay? Staying on a demo account, right, and understanding the results from what your strategy is going to cause you less harm in the long run and actually benefit you in terms of, okay, maybe I need to change, maybe I need to actually scrap what it is I think is going on with my strategy, maybe I actually need to learn more, okay? Now, this may be a setback to some because of the time that you've already put in, and you might think, no, I feel like I'm ready, I know what I'm doing. Trust me, if the results are not there, there's something you're not doing right, okay? Now, sometimes it could be psychological based, but sometimes, unfortunately, what you think is a good strategy just isn't working. Now, there could be multiple facets as to why it's not working, whether you're actually following the strategy in terms of being pinpoint with your actual reasons for getting in and your criteria, or you could actually still be following the trading plan and following what the strategy is. But again, the strategy just is not good enough and it's not actually getting you in terms of what you're trying to apply to the charts. It's not getting you where you want. Now, if that is you guys, okay, please take it from me. Don't waste your time trying to make it stick, right? Don't be afraid to scrap what your strategy is and start over. Before I found what my winning strategy was going into 3 years of trading, I had to scrap everything that I had previously learned and unlearn a lot of things in the charts that I once upon a time believed was true, or believed that that was the case of how it goes, only to realize that it didn't actually amount to results that I wanted in the market, okay? So again, when it comes to what your strategy is, hopefully you can actually write out what your criteria is. Take a step back, look at it, journal what it is your results are. If you're not, then again, you're missing the trick with it. But when you go back through that data, you're going to find out whether or not what you believe is the truth with your strategy. Is it actually occurring as regular as it is? And are you actually able to profit in terms of the market moving with what the information is that you're applying? The quicker you're actually able to identify whether something is working or not, right, and whether you need to actually adapt or make a change, I'm telling you, it doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It just means you don't know enough about the market. Now, take it from me. I am somebody who is trading a certain way, and I've tried different methods before, okay? Support and resistance, supply and demand, Bollinger Bands, the RSI at this setting. I am somebody who has tried and tested these things. Until I started learning how to really read price action, I had to go through the pain of taking trades, believing in the strategy and the system, only to find out once I knew what I knew now, I didn't actually need any of that stuff. Now, again, it was all learning lessons at the end of the day, but if you want to shorten your learning curve, guys, you need to really understand, okay, if this isn't working, I need to actually switch up and adapt to something else in terms of a proven method. You don't want to be throwing darts at a board that isn't actually there at the end of the day. Now, it may be painful for you to do that. And again, I'm hoping that realistically you can see why I'm saying this and you can really be honest with yourself. Because if you are going to become profitable past these prop firm challenges that you want to and all of this stuff, right, it's important that you actually have a belief in your strategy and understand that it's not going to work all the time, but the criteria and what I need to actually enter these trades appears over and over again. Now, I'm not one of those people that say you have to trade like this in order to be profitable. I know plenty of people that have different ways of looking at the market and they do just fine, okay? But what you have to understand is you do not need to pick the bones of each and every one's strategy and try and mesh it together to make your own super strategy. None of that stuff works. What you need to do is find a consistency in what your belief system is psychologically and also the criteria you're willing to wait for and you're willing to die on in terms of actually taking the trade as and when it's dead. You're not going to win every trade, guys, okay? You're not going to somehow get away from taking a loss, right? Everyone has to experience these things. It's actually going to grow you as a trader, and we're all here to grow in terms of experience wise and start hitting those milestones that we really want to hit as well. Now, granted, some of you are probably watching this video saying, how do I get the consistency that I'm yearning for? How do I actually become profitable in all of these things, right? Now, my expertise are available to you. If this is something that you're interested in, write out the type form in the description below and let's just have a chat about where you are honestly within your strategy. And again, this is about being open-minded to maybe you don't know enough and maybe your strategy isn't what you think it is, but you're willing to actually adapt. Go through a process of learning something which is going to give you pinpoint accuracy and understanding of when to engage and when not to engage. Again, my first trade this week, guys, was 4 days in. These are skills that you have to learn how to develop in terms of being disciplined and patient and waiting for the market to show you what your entry criteria is. So hit the link in the description if this video has been useful for you. And again, let's just have a chat. I just want to be honest for those that are looking at it from a perspective of, okay, maybe I need to pivot away from what it is I'm doing at the moment because the results are not there. Now, if you think about the 3 topics that I've mentioned today, hopefully you're going to be honest in your assessment of if you are actually going through any of the things mentioned and whether or not you can be better in any of the things mentioned as well. Find faults, be honest with yourself so that you can actually shorten your learning curve overall. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm already on the way to 1,000 subscribers. This content is for you guys. Hopefully you're finding value in what it is that I'm dropping. Let me know in the comments which one of those topics hit home for you and what your struggles are. And let's see if we can get you to the next step in terms of where you want to be. See you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching the latest episode. If you like that, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. I'll see you on the next video.